Hello, everybody. Welcome to the free agency live show with the King Source. Let's get this thing going. We're going to talk about some things that Freddie Freeman is near to deal with the Dodgers. The Yankees are talking to Correa. There's a few things, but we'll get to. So, and if this Freeman deal goes through, expect the Braves to get in hot talks with Matt Olson, I am told. Go ahead and get this shared out. And then we'll really get it going. By the way, you saw Watson was expunged. All of the claims against him were thrown out. The courts ruled he had nothing. They had no evidence, basically. If anything breaks, I will break it to you live here. Give me a minute. I'll get back to the chat. Just need to finish getting this shared out. And we'll go probably an hour, maybe 2 hours. We'll see. Freddie Freeman's deep in talks with the Dodgers. Correa has been in talks with the Yankees. The Cubs are out on him. Let's see what... Any updates? No. So give me a minute to finish getting this thing live, and then I can start answering questions. We just start talking, basically. Pretty sure Twitter will burn if Correa signs to the Yankees. Craig Tucker, he's an Astros fan. So... let's I'll figure this one out. Out of nowhere, I was helping run the biggest Cubs group on Facebook. Out of nowhere, all of a sudden, I'm no longer the lead admin. I'm no longer in the freaking group. What the heck is that about? I have no clue what happened. Somebody flipped their noodle there. So, I almost have this shared out. Where is that? Go. I hate when Facebook fritzes out like this, then you have something pinned to the top and it removes it. Drives me berserk. So just let me finish getting this shit out. We'll get into the stuff. Then I'll let you know what I'm watching and expecting for and all of that. Okay. And by the way, sources say they're expecting a few big moves tonight. That could be anything from Story to Schwarber, Castellanos. I think one is going to be Freeman. There is a belief Freeman signs tonight and with the Dodgers. He is deep in talks. Everybody's just waiting to see, do the Braves come in with one final push or not. That's what we're waiting to see with Freeman. I'll check on the latest here. Now, when you hear talks are intensifying, that usually means the deal's agreed to and they're just waiting to drop it. Like they've been told, don't drop it yet. So keep an eye on that. We will be keeping an eye on that as well. And my computer's printing out again. There we go. My computer does that. Paid $580 for a new computer and pulls tricks like this. There we go. Let's see. Freddie Freeman negotiations expect to reach conclusion next 24 hours, a possibility end of tonight. Dodgers have made a strong offer to the Braves will match it. Same thing I said. Same exact thing I said. I think Freeman signs tonight, and then Correa by the end of the day tomorrow at the latest. We'll fully see on where Correa goes. Alright, let's get back for some questions here. Setting up sources. Yankees Tribune says leaving some time for other teams to jump in. Yankees are not going to match the Dodgers' offers that big. One thing I wanted to talk about. Hector Gomez says the Yankees are willing to pay Correa more than $300 million over 10 years. If that happens, Peraza or Volpe are gone on a trade for Matt Olson. I can tell you that much. I've been on Matt Olson to the Dodgers, or not Matt Olson, Freeman to the Dodgers for a long time. I've known it was coming. So, let's see here. Greetings, Fleming. I'm going to agree with Kyle. There is a belief around baseball that a bunch of us are about to drop. And I'm kind of thinking Correa could take a one-year deal with the Astros and retry it next year, next free agency. I'm kind of thinking that's what happens. The Yankees are trying, though. We'll see. Joe Buck leaving Fox and no longer doing baseball. I kind of like that. Has a great voice for it. Great voice for the calling baseball games. But my goodness, his commentary is bad. I mean bad. So, yeah, the Cubs straight up backed out on touching $300 million or more on Correa. They capped it right at $300 million. He wanted 10 years. They would not go above $300 million even at 10 years, and so that's kind of where it broke down with the Cubs and such. And so let's go do a quick check here. John Heyman just dropped something. A source thinks the Yankees are signing Story, not Correa. And one sign of that is Talking Jake put Trevor Story back in his profile name. Keep an eye on that. I'm checking what John Heyman said. Mariners, Giants, Dodgers, Cubs, Red Sox, Hospice of outfield talent. All-around outfielder Seiya Suzuki. 5-time MVP, 9-award winner. I mentioned that earlier today that the Mariners and Giants were all out after him. The Dodgers, Cubs, Red Sox, Yankees, Dodgers not as much, but Cubs and Red Sox, they're going to have to try to convince Suzuki to go away from the West Coast for that to happen. So, I would not be surprised if the Yankees say to sign Story and then trade for Matt Olson. Because if they sign Story or Correa, but buy Peraza or Volpe, one of them. Yes, I do, Justin. I think that was the first sign they were getting Freeman is Kershaw taking the pay cut because he realized, oh, we got a chance at a title with Freeman. This guy just, what a title he hits no matter what. The Dodgers tampered with Freeman. That is proven fact. That is known fact. The Dodgers tampered with Freeman. We'll see whatever happens. Now, a lot of people thought it was clickbait right after they lost Seager. No. San Francisco is the favorite because Suzuki wants to stay West Coast. So it's the favorite. A team like the Yankees, Red Sox, they'd have to convince him to leave the West Coast. Which that is going to be hard. This guy, big-time Ohtani fan, but loves Ohtani. Keep that in mind. Lefty Andrew Vasquez signing big league deal with the Blue Jays. That just dropped. Andrew Vasquez. Wasn't he a Red Sox? I think he was a Red Sox. Andrew Vasquez, now Blue Jay, just retweeted that. Blue Jays reporter announced that one. It is a big league deal. I don't know the specs on that. But he will be a bullpen arm, I would suggest. By the way, bullpen arms Yankees have been in contact with. I've been told Archie Bradley, Brad Hand, a lot of the veterans. They're looking for some cheap vets to eat innings, basically. Randy Wilkins says, are the Yankees going to face a Kyrie Irving situation there in Judge? Will someone ask if he's vaccinated? I know the private sector may mandate some change, but at some point, but who really knows when that'll happen? Would they really bring Rizzo back as well? Good questions. With Judge, I don't think so. And he's working on an extension, I can say that much. We know that the Dodgers in their deal with Freeman, Correa's talking to the Yankees, etc. What dropped Andrew Vasquez to the Blue Jays is what just dropped. So, dominoes will fall in the NL West. I see San Diego going crazy with signings. This Freeman thing just happened. To a certain extent, yes, not a lot of interest in them. Chris Bryant for the Padres, want to keep in mind. Yeah, Suzuki top pursuers leaked. Could the Yankees, those 5? We will see what happens. He's expected to sign Sunday or Monday, by the way. Seiya Suzuki. That was a source just told me that the top one's leaked. But yes, I would not be surprised at all if a couple of moves pop out right now. So, center field is believed it'll be Hicks. Now, if they sign Conforto, they could have Judge or Gallup place him there. The Yankees aren't interested in Conforto with about 8 teams. We'll see. But it looks like it will be Hicks out there. And Justin Lamas, oh yeah, I'm a Dodger fan. Near tampering. I have 17 family members work for the Dodgers on my dad's side. They were tampering. I have heard Chris Bryant to the Mariners all day. Mariners got close on him earlier today, and then everything just died out. Sources died out. So we'll see what they do. The Yankees are already working on moves. They're already working on moves. Remember, if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. It helps everybody out. There we go. And if you want to donate, the details are down in the details section of the video. There we go. I would not be surprised at all if Bryant goes to the Mariners. But the Phillies are still trying, the Padres are still trying, and the Padres are still trying that trade. So, by the way, Freddie Freeman and Carlos Correa will not be on the same team. MLB execs see no chance that happens. So it's going to be Olsen or Story, or Olsen, Correa, Rizzo, Story, if the Yankees do, in fact, sign both. And Drelton Simmons is gone. He signed with the Cubs. I knew all along he would not be a Yankee. I wasn't quite expecting the Cubs to sign him, but yeah. Jack Leiter and Preston, his first game action since the College World Series at Rangers minor league spring training today. He will be in the bigs very shortly, probably by the end of the 2024 season at the latest. Jack Leiter's a special pitcher there. Everybody in LA tampers. That is straight up true. The Lakers are tampering with LeBron James before they signed him. Everybody tampers. That's fact. Clippers did it with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Everybody tampers. The Rams did it with a few players. They brought them in trades. I think almost every pro sports fan will tamper. See, Pinstripe's PSA, anyone that's kept the Yankees could walk out of this thing with 0 big free agency signings. Seems they're super hesitant to pay anyone big money. The Freeman sweepstakes narrow to LA and Atlanta. Correa's last big name on the board. I know Correa is not. There's several big names like Schwarber, Castellanos, Bryant, Rizzo. So, tells you how much he knows. Trevor Story. Why is it so silent on Trevor Story? He's got something of a source I need to check on before I do anything. But something big on Trevor Story as well. He trained with Eric Cressy, the Yankees guy, employee, trainer, pitcher trainer, for a while. This offseason, he's getting an elbow back. Keep an eye on that. That means the Yankees know his medicals. They know everything. So, and there are still believe Story's going to the Yankees, including talking Jake. Idiot Cardinals fans think they have a chance at Story. They have no chance at him. And one guy says the Red Sox are negotiating with Story. No, they are not. Story wants nothing to do with the Red Sox. Remember, he's a lifetime Jarek Jeter and Yankees fan. Story's agent told me that one, by the way. One of his agents. One of Trevor Story's agents follows me on Twitter, on my business account, so. Yeah, don't forget 96. Yankees almost traded Mariano Rivera for Felix Hernandez. I think that one would have worked out either way, but I'm going to check something here. Yeah, Talking Jacobs put Trevor Story back in his Twitter name, so keep an eye on that. The Astros beat the other team in on Correa, but Story, he loves the Yankees. He wants to play with his best friend DJ LeMahieu again. So, I already saw about the Suzuki teams. The ones that we were expecting, I named them all in previous lives. CBS Sports, Dodgers coming out strong for Freddie Freeman. Deal close for CBS Sports. I already reported that one. The latest I heard is he is trying to give the Braves a chance to match before he signs with the Dodgers. Yankees are out on Freeman. That's why they're talking to Correa. You didn't know that. I won't retweet the CBS thing because you already know that. I already tweeted that. One of the Boris agents, don't be surprised if Correa inks with the Yankees shortly after Freeman signs tonight. He's still talking with a couple other teams. We'll see. Samantha says somebody needs to sign Gardner now so Cashman can't. Yeah, that'd be funny. He is talking to the Giants, Phillies, and who's the other team? Marlins. If Correa joined the Yankees, I would support him and just hope he left the cheating in Houston. Hometown is 4.5 hours north of Houston, so it wouldn't be a hometown discount down there. He doesn't really like the Astros. That's going to be a worst case thing. Angels in on Correa would stun me. They already have 3 major contracts. I don't think they go after Correa. It wouldn't completely surprise me, but I don't think they would. They've been very hesitant to even talk to him at this point. With the Angels, Correa's going to demand probably $250 million just for them to join the talks. We've had 7 free agent signings today, 1 last night, so free agency is moving. Just a lot slower than anybody was expecting. Evan Roberts, wake up, Yankees on Freeman. No, the Yankees are out. He's got his offer from the Dodgers. He's working on it, but he's giving the Braves one last chance to sign. Or to match, I should say. The Cubs are in on Suzuki for a Cubs source. Ownership is deciding when they're really wanting to compete in those talks. I'm not sure the Cubs do. They love him, and he projects very well with the Cubs. Very well with the Cubs. This was actually up to 19 at one point, so a lot of people were in here. Kevin Carmichael. There's 8 teams that have asked about Kevin Carmichael, nothing serious yet. Bryant to the Mariners makes a lot of sense. It was close about 4 or 5 hours ago. Then he wanted to check with other teams first. What's the last I heard? The Yankees fans are getting heck of restless that other teams around the league are noticing. The Yankees fans getting very restless. We now have CBS Sports and MLB Network, John Rosie's MLB Network, saying Freeman to the Dodgers is close. I reported it's close. Let's see what happens on that. When that goes down, then the things will heat up around Correa. And they are not going to be on the same team. So Dodgers sign Freeman, Correa is going elsewhere. The Dodgers were one of the teams asked about Correa. I loved McCann with the Yankees. He was a perfect fit for Yankee Stadium and the Yankees. I don't know why they just traded him. I know Sanchez coming up. I would have kept him. The Dodgers definitely tampered with Freeman. Everybody knows that one. Bouncing up and down around 15 people right now on the live. Anthony Rizzo is trending for some reason. Let's check out why. Have the Cubs signed Anthony Rizzo yet? No, they have not. It's not likely they do. If the Dodgers actually end up with Freddie Freeman, it's going to be fun to watch how the Matt Olson Anthony Rizzo market plays out vis-a-vis the Yankees and Braves. It will be. That's Michael Ceremi. He's got sources. He's a Cubs reporter, by the way. Michael Ceremi said that. If the Cubs fans want Anthony Rizzo, I think it's wishful thinking at this point. I really do. Breaking news from Red Sox camp. Rafael Devers has a sprained male part. We'll leave it at that. How funny is that one? Story has a market the Yankees passed on Correa. If the Yankees get Correa, say his market is still thin, maybe the Phillies grab him cheap. You know, Rafael Devers on the IL. That one is kind of funny. I'm not sure what Rafael Devers did to sprain that, but yeah, his male parts are sprained, so he's headed to the IL. That is a funny one. That would make it miserable to swing a bat. People asking if the Yankees swoop in last second on Freeman. No chance. You're talking about a guy from L.A. He's not going to let a team all the way across the country he doesn't actually like swoop in and steal him. So you know Devers will be on the IL, and who knows when he'll get back. I'll go ahead and say that. I'm checking with sources right now. By the way, Deshaun Watson, the trade talks are going full bore right now. 6 teams have contacted the Texans since his criminal stuff was thrown out. And anybody with the brain knew it was being thrown out. There was never a case there. There's never criminal stuff investigations going, actually. Yeah, I can't confirm the Cubs are after Seiya Suzuki. They're one of the teams after him. They're going to have to do a big, mega convincing job to get him away from the West Coast teams. Wonder what Devers did to suffer that injury. Anybody want to take a guess? There's not much of a marker on Kevin Kiermaier right now, so. Alrighty. With Kevin Kiermaier, the latest on that is 8 teams have asked about him. 8 teams, but the Rays haven't really gotten to talks with him. They're offering Tyler Glasnow with him to sweeten it up. And remember, they already tried to get Chris Bryant from the Cubs for him, so. And according to the sources, Xander Bogart caused the injury with something they were doing on the Wii. Whatever that means. So checking on things. Just checking. Yankees fan Earl, you know how hurt Marcus Stroman is going to be just a crazy Yankee? Is everything he's never wanted? Or is everything he's ever wanted? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm still not sold on it. I still think it's Story, the one the Yankees signed. And this Correa, I think it'd be a cloud tactics. They can negotiate with Story in private, in silence. Kind of got dead silent on the baseball where it's a little weird. Not seeing much. There are actually people saying that the Yankees should trade Giancarlo Stanton, other DH in the NL. He's got a no trade clause, and he has no interest in leaving the Jazz. There's no chance that one happens. Buffalo Bills free agent Mitch Trubisky is expected to have interest from the Saints, Giants, and Steelers. Information there. What are the Yankees fans going to do? The Yankees do sign Story, and then Correa's left nowhere to go but back to Astros on a 1-year deal and then try it next year. Everybody's worried about the Dodgers and Freeman. My goodness. The Braves are still at 5 years. Dodgers is said to be 6-year offer with a few options in there. So keep an eye on that one. Yes, Devers sprains his male parts. Leave it at that. Kevin Kiermaier, it's probably going to be a few top prospects or a MLB quality player. I would guess Ian Happ will probably be included in that, or Nico Horner. The 2 players expected traded. If that trade goes down, I still don't know if the Rays really want to trade him. They are trying, though, is the belief. Everybody, all Yankee fans are just furious the Yankees are not getting Freeman. They were never getting him. I told you from the beginning, Yankees are getting always Dodgers, Braves, his hometown team versus the team he loved playing for all these years. So if a Kevin Kiermaier trade goes down, I would expect that one midway through spring training as well. So we're probably talking a couple weeks from now if that one happens. I am expecting a trade any time. There are a few. An MLB source in the know leaked that information on Devers. Just wait till that pops out everywhere. That should be popping out anytime, everywhere. A lot of these IL things, even though injuries happen, do not get announced until the first week of spring training as well. In honor of his father, Bismack Biyombo has decided to donate his entire 2021-2022 NBA salary towards building a hospital in his homeland of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. That one's interesting. Bismack Biyombo, the former Miami Heat player, if memory serves. Now the Braves fired their mascot, Ray Brooks. Remember, he's been in hot water all offseason. So the guy doing the Braves mascot has been fired and will be replaced. Keep an eye on that if you're a Braves fan. Let's see here. Getting a lot of stuff from baseball reporters, but nothing really. Seiya Suzuki again, not expected to sign until Sunday or Monday, but there's a lot of teams going after him. 7 teams, according to Buster Only, are actively pursuing him. We know a lot of those. I would think they're beefing that up a little bit to help him out. Okay, let's pop back over here. Cubs want to be cheap and save money. I'm not sure they do. They have one of the richest owners in the game. I just think they want to spend it wisely and build up their next championship run the right way. That's what I believe. So, let's check on the latest on Freeman. It just popped up. The Cubs were interested in Freeman, but yeah. It's gone silent on Freeman about 20 minutes. It's a little fishy. Well, 12 minutes since CBS Sports dropped theirs. See. Yeah, the Dodgers have a I think it's a 4-year offer, a couple option years deal on the table for Freeman right now. You've not seen the Braves matching, and so he's likely a Dodger already. This is from David P. Sampson. He's a reporter for CBS Sports. Big decision for Freddie, who likely wants to defend the title, but may feel his loyalty has not been properly acknowledged or rewarded. Big decision for Braves. He may be right in the long term, but it will feel very wrong right now if he leaves. To Braves fans, yes, they'll feel slapped in the face, especially going to the Dodgers. So it does look like Freeman to the Dodgers. I think what we're waiting for right now is he's giving the Braves a last chance to match. I think that's what we are waiting on. And Freeman actually projects better than he ever played with the Braves as a Dodger. He does. The New Orleans Saints have looked into Deshaun Watson trade scenarios and are interested in 3-time Pro Bowl quarterback. The Pittsburgh Steelers are not going to be part of the Deshaun Watson trades. So, yeah, the Cubs are going to be on Suzuki till he signs. The question is, how hard are they going to go after Suzuki? Everybody needs to know that one. How hard are they going after Suzuki? I still think he'll end up on a West Coast team. The Yankees and the Red Sox are trying as well. And there's another Midwest team as well. So it's going to be interesting how that shakes out. Let's see here. Yeah, there's a thing there for each team's NFL salary cap situation. Going to drop that, of course, the Dolphins more than anybody. So, and the numbers will be different because of penalties and such. Teams will have a different salary caps because of penalties. I think going to basketball stuff is just clouding the timelines in that. Nope. Let's see what it says in this article about Suzuki and the Cubs here on Bleacher Nation. Let's go ahead and run down this. See here. Yeah, Mariners, Giants, Dodgers, Cubs, Red Sox. I know the Yankees are in there as well. Among the hottest pursuers of Suzuki. Remember, before the lockout, Yankees were the hottest pursuer. So, and Suzuki projects amazing with the Cubs. So they're basically just saying that they are talking to him and everything like that. The Cubs is where Suzuki projects one of his best. So. Wow. Devers, the male part strain, will be massaged and treated with heat. Expected to miss a week. Can't believe we're even saying this. What is life right now? Oh my goodness. Can we get a big player move to come up here and get us on a different subject? Oh my goodness. Buster Only said something. Let's check on this. Talking Baseball just retweeted a picture of Trevor Story. Why? Figure that one out. I cannot find Buster Only's tweet, whatever he just tweeted. So let's do it a different way. There's another way to do it. Just pull up his profile. Nothing there. So Ralph says, sounds like Freeman's going to sign with the Dodgers. He's too freaking cheap. No, he's not cheap. So Yankees' biggest free agent signing to Jose Peraza. No, it's not. It's a minor league pitcher they signed for a couple million. Or a pitcher, I should say. Chris Ross Vogelou, a big-time reporter for the Spun and SI, Sports Illustrated, says he thinks the Panthers are a team to get Deshaun Watson. We know the Dolphins, the Panthers, the Seahawks, the Saints. A bunch of teams are involved there. Hey, we got a picture of Jim Thorpe of the Mets. Well, the Giants, New York Giants, I should say, before they moved to San Francisco. We could do the big free agent signing popping. If Freeman could pop in any time, there could be other free agent signings popping in any time. We'll break them live if they pop in. Dodgers and Braves have been the most consistent pursuers and most likely landing spots for Freddie Freeman. Dodgers are making a push now. It's a surprise Braves didn't lock him on. Believes they've been offering about 140 over 5, but he should get 6 years. So it does look like Freeman is going to get that deal from the Dodgers. Bobby Allen says 4 years, 160 million for Freeman. This Dodger type offer. He wouldn't take that. He wants 6 years. He'll take a lower AAV to get that. So continue to go through this. Giving you updates as we can. We know Freeman is close to a deal with the Dodgers. Bryant was close with the Mariners. So something is happening between the Dodgers and Freeman. I noticed no mention of the Yankees in that tweet. No mention of the Yankees in that tweet. Keep an eye on that. Daniel Cunningham, and he is usually very accurate. Never bought in the Yankees having a legit shot at Freeman. Always thought it'd be LA or Atlanta. Question to me is, will New York move to re-sign Rizzo, appointed the prospect at Matt Olson? My gut says Rizzo. I agree. I think it will end up being Rizzo, and they'll sign a shortstop as well, Correa or Story. That's my feel. No, it's not worth getting a lead package right now. They just got NBC and Apple deals done, so that is going to go up. MLB's TV is gonna go up big time. Remember, if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. Help everybody out. Let's see here. So, all signs pointed Freddie Freeman signing with the Dodgers tonight. And I never bought for a second the Yankees were even interested in Freeman. I still do not believe that. And all sign evidence, everything points to that. So. See, nothing there. Kershaw re-signed with the Dodgers, so look, Freeman isn't a necessity, but I better see Olson or Rizzo out there next year if it's not him. Yankees analytics nerds. I would agree with that one. Yankees no excuse not to go get one of those first basemen. Per source, Yankees are out on Freeman. They have been told that by Freeman's side. Not wrong team. I might piss off a lot of fans if I accidentally put that team on there. Typing out a tweet here. The Yankees are officially out. on Freeman. Yankees full focus on a shortstop. It's going to be probably Story or Correa, and then a first baseman, Rizzo or Olsen, is what we're looking at. So I'm tweeting that out. You just got that information straight from the source. So Yankees have turned full focus onto Correa and Story. They'll sign one of them, and then they'll go get one of those two first basemen. Do not be surprised if it's Story and Rizzo. Do not be surprised. It's awesome talking baseball without worrying about that CBA crap. Oh, man, I can tell you how good that is. We will cover CBA tomorrow on the show, but Hours baseball show, so. White Sox fans have been noticeably quiet about Rodon leaving, if that tells you what they think of him. Dodger Blue says Dodgers making strong effort to sign Freeman, want the deal done. See if they can get that done. Correa to NYA 2022 says Correa and Olsen. Possible. Yankees sign Correa or Story. That frees up Peraza or Volt for be trade bait. That makes that Olsen trade a lot easier. So Dodgers could have a big day if they get Kershaw back and sign Freeman. And can I say, told you so to Mets fans who actually thought they had a chance at Kershaw? They never had a chance at Kershaw. It was always Dodgers or Rangers. So officially, Yankees are out on Freeman. Yankees getting close with Carlos Correa. Yankees favor Correa if it's long-term because the ability to move him to other positions. Story won't move as easy. Definitely agree there. That's the only reason they prefer him. Story is cheaper, so they could go that way. Not hearing anything definite on Correa being done. It would make sense at this point. And the Yankees are said willing to go to about $325 million over 10 years for Correa. So keep that one in mind. Most likely happen to me, I think, is Rizzo and Story, but everything is on the table right now as far as those four go. I still think it will be Story. I will break it if it is done. And MLB Network is saying they think Story is going, or excuse me, Correa is going to the Yankees. We'll see. We'll see. Dodgers may have offered Freeman 5 years and over $140 million, according to NBC Sports Edge Baseball. That is far higher than what the Braves offered. Far higher. If it comes down to that 6 years, I think the Dodgers do it. The Braves do not. Per source, Correa has no rush to sign, so don't expect that one anytime. But Rizzo is eager to sign. He's getting impatient. And so his camp could be pushing the Olsen and Rizzo deals. Oh. So Anthony Rizzo is eager to sign. Yankees made the faves there. I would be surprised if they signed him and Correa. I would not be surprised. A few outlets have broken that Devers on the IL, but they have not said why. You know why they're not saying why he's on the IL. Kind of embarrassing. Yeah, I'll definitely agree with Big Moore here. Freeman's definitely giving the Braves their final chance to offer. And if the Yankees did sign Story, keep an eye on the Phillies. for Correa. They might make a push. My bet is they get... Braves made $100 million profits last year. Freddie Freeman is not the guy to squeeze. First on Braves' balance sheet, it was Eric Fisher. He's an editor for Sports Business Group. He's an expert on that kind of thing if you don't know who he is. Eric Fisher. That's not that offensive line for the NFL. Now, Correa, again, he's in no hurry to sign. I'm not going to tweet that one, so... And that's what the Rizzo's agent said. And Rizzo is very eager to be getting with his guys at spring training. So, keep an eye on that. Rizzo could take a small deal with the Yankees. Okay, I've just given a link here. Let me check this link out, and then we'll go from there. At least the Yankees have some clarity on the Freeman situation. They know they're not getting him. They were never getting him. I don't think they're ever in on him. That was Chris Marie. She said, everybody F your feelings. Just get him to camp. That's kind of funny. Not done yet, but we'll see what happens. I do think he's going to get Story or Correa. So, David Rifkin. He's a very fun one to interact with on Twitter. And that says... Cash, go call your buddy Billy and get Olsen. Yes, Billy Bean is good friends with Brian Cashman. Something to keep in mind, Rizzo's lease in New York is still active. An apartment in New York. I would not be surprised if they could just grab Rizzo and call a day at first base. That's an auto block. Getting on me about the deal the Yankees had in place for Luke Voit to the Rangers. They pulled out of it. Something caused the Yankees to pull out of it. I have never gotten any information on that one, but yes. Rizzo loved his time at the Yankees. He projects incredibly well at the Yankees because of that short porch and the pesky pole and the porch in Baltimore. So he projects very well. The Braves announcer said he thinks Freeman is gone. I believe Freeman is very close. Correa, I'm not 100% sure on that yet. I think Correa waits till after Freeman signs. Actually, Correa is not better than Story. Story is by far the better offensive player. Correa is the better defensive player. You average it all out. Story is slightly the better player, especially for the money. So, Rod Freeman just drove strikes. Oh my goodness, in a raging blizzard. Michigan and another team are playing in a raging blizzard in a baseball game. My goodness. I would call that game. Just saying. How about Max Scherzer? He came out with a great first impression. He said, Jake DeGrom comes for me. He gets to pick his games. I'll pitch after him. Perfect statement. Perfect way to get in with the Mets and the players and everybody and their fans. I love that. That's the perfect attitude. I won't say it's humble, but he has his head on straight. My best bet is Yankees grab Story and Rizzo, and that way, if it's a couple of cheap moves, they have money for their moves. That's why I believed that for the longest time. The Bucks have done work, as you would expect, on Browns' Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield could not be very happy right now, just saying. Michael Duarte, a big-time reporter, said, sources told me before the lockout that Freddie Freeman's decision would come down to what is best for his family. His parents live in Southern California, LA area, and would love to have their son and grandson closer to home. His wife, Chelsea, is from Florida, and ideally would like to remain in the South. I think he ends up going back to LA, and then after retiring, he'll go back to Florida with his wife. And the belief around Correa right now is he will sign a one-year deal with the Astros and hit the market again next year. That's the belief. That's funny. I'm not going to say that, but that's kind of funny. Because you see Francis Lee's suspension is because of a copyright violation. he may not get back on Twitter. So, Sal, you're out of your mind. Freeman was a horrendous fit. He actually projected the worst out of the three first basemen, Olsen, Rizzo, and Freeman at Yankee Stadium. Projected the worst because of his freaking funky swing. I hate Freeman's swing. There's something off that. I think he'll end up getting a serious injury from it. See here. Down here, Simmons went to the Cubs. Bobby Thompson shows that Judge Judy gif. Tag the Yankees. Greg Popovich to be a legend. No, he is not. Greg Popovich, one of the biggest cheaters in the league. Doesn't have half the ones he has without the refs in his pockets. Let's go check some NBA scores while we wait for some MLB news. Come on. NBA, there we go. The Celtics are struggling with the Pistons, 72-71. Jazz up on San Antonio, 31-27. Jazz try to stop Popovich from breaking Don Nelson's record that neither of them earned. Minnesota trailing to Orlando by 3 under 2 minutes. Dallas beating the crap out of Houston, 67-44. Charlotte up 61-55 in New Orleans, and there's other games coming later. 84-80 lead for Atlanta over the Clippers. We already talked about the Clippers. Just got something here. Henry Simpson, NBC. The Yankees are 2 yards away from signing Carlos Correa. Sources tell NBC. Red Sox, Cubs, Braves appear to have all fallen out of the picture. League source expect deal by midnight. Let me check this thing out here. Is this the real Henry Simpson? Oh, if I could spell it, might help matters. There he is. Let me see if this is a real tweet. It is a real tweet, but I am not sure this is a legit account. So I'm going to check something here. I want to see if that is a fake account or if that is his real account. Because I know Henry Simpson is a real reporter from NBC. And I do not see another one. Interesting. I would take that with a grain of salt. I would not bank on that unless Freeman pops right now. Then it might happen. So if Freeman signs here for the next half hour, then Correa could happen tonight. That's the way that's going to work. Cubs have already made an offer on Suzuki. I'd expect all the teams have given Suzuki their offers at this point. So that's not really news there. One source says pay no attention to Henry Simpson's report. And another one says that reporter retired several years ago. So, as I said, I would take that with a grain of salt. So, yeah, I'm thinking that is a fake account based on a guy that retired several years ago. So, I would take that with a grain of salt. Like somebody just trying to guess in that. Yeah, you're blocked, asshole. You take my tweets at Freeman's Yankee because I report that the Yankees have been told by Freeman's camp they're out, you're blocked. If Freeman's camp literally told the Yankees they are out on Freeman, and I think that's because Freeman's going to the Dodgers. I do. I think we'll go to another 45 minutes and then reassess at that point. As far as how long the live will be. Bucks have no shot at Deshaun Watson. They're too far over the salary cap. NFL rules make so you cannot even get into trades and negotiations unless you're under the cap. The Bucks have to drop about $50 million after tagging Godwin just to get into the talks. I would be happy with Rizzo's story as long as they brought in another lefty bat, such as they can afford to play the outfield. Jock Pederson was for his attitude issue, something like that. They brought in a third bat as well. If the Yankees get Correa, they will probably go after Olsen as well. They'll probably go after Olsen no matter what. They're probably already in talks there. In fact, we know they are. I'll say that. Seeing a lot of pictures of old-time baseball players. Doug McCain, a Dodgers reporter, says, this is literally happening right now. Freddie Freeman to Dodgers. So Doug McCain is calling it. Doug McCain, a Dodgers reporter, is saying Freeman to the Dodgers. And would expect the Yankees if they get Correa and can't reach a trade for Olsen. That's on Rizzo. I agree. I think they would sign a shortstop first, then try to trade for Olsen. And when that falls out, grab you-know-who. MLB nerds, the Yankees, White Sox fans all have interest in Sean Manaea. Who first told you that one? So, looks like Freeman is going to be joining the Dodgers. It should pop out at any time at this point. The Falcons restructured Matt Ryan's contract, if you saw that. So he's not going anywhere. Oh, if I could spell it would help. So a Dodgers reporter is calling it. Says Freeman to the Dodgers. Just check with family. It's the typing you heard. One said deal's been agreed to. There's not announcing. That was fast. Sometimes that happens when I talk to family members that work there. No. And MLB nerds, they are in iffy account. They usually have great information. But yeah, so I know the Yankees are interested in Sean Manaea, so. Dave Roberts expects to use DH as a revolving position, allowing players to get days off and play match to their advantage. So, I hate that. I think it should be illegal. I think you should have a set DH. I think that should be mandated. John Gutierrez, MLB player, just followed TheKingSource on Twitter. Oh, that's not where you want that. So, I'm checking on this link that I was just shared. Mets have had talks with the Reds about starting pitcher Tyler Mahle. Yes, that one I can confirm. I don't think it was getting anywhere. I think they're going after that other pitcher I mentioned earlier. MLB Pipeline said these teams have the prospects to make a major trade. 3 of them do not. They are the Yankees, Red Sox, Rays, Giants, Dodgers, Mariners, Padres, and Indians. Well, Guardians now. No, the Red Sox do not. Their farm is barren. Same with the Rays. Rays have a few good top prospects, but they're not trading them. One is whatever his name is, their shortstop, Franco. The Giants' farm is barren. That's why I haven't been making any trades the last 4 years. So those 3 do not. Remember, a Dodgers reporter says Freeman to the Dodgers. So, no shortstop will ever be better than Derek Jeter. That's not possible. Jeter's the only player in history to have 3,000 plus hits, 1,500 plus walks, a whole line of stats. No other players even come close to him. So, but Correa's effect on the Yankees could be a little better than Jeter. He's faster, more spry, better defender than Jeter was. But you go all around, nobody is better than Jeter. So, trying to check something here. Panthers Seahawks expected to be the top suitors for QB Deshaun Watson as expected. A great point made here by Darius Glover. Here's why I don't believe the Yankees signed a stopgap shortstop. They traded 2 of them, Andrew Velasquez, it was Vasquez, not Velasquez, and Tyler Wade. Why would they trade 2 basically stopgap shortstops just to sign another one? That has never made sense to me. Unless they were going to start Oswald Cabrera right off the bat. So, Michael K said all he can confirm the Yankees are talking to Correa. That's it. He does not know if it happens. That's all Michael K could confirm there. Thanks, filming. I try. I just give the people information, let them do what they want with it. Most people don't get it. It's not well, I'm not sharing the information, but not really my information. It's from MLB sources. And it's my job to share it. Let's see here. Correa's defense is actually not the best in the game. It's second best to another one out west. I'm not going to tell you who it is. But it did project second best, and all stats were second best to one out west. Will Middlebrook says Atlanta cannot let Freddie Freeman leave. Absolutely cannot happen. That's the heart and soul of your team. Keenan Riley, Albie Swanson, all these young studs need that voice of a 12-year vet in the clubhouse. There's a lot of value in Freddie beyond the back of his baseball card. If he leaves, Dansby Swanson's gone next year. I'm just going to throw that out there. If Freeman does join the Dodgers, we believe, then Dansby Swanson will follow him. So, Michael K. admits yes, not allowed to talk baseball on Yankees Hot Stove for the last 4 months during the lockout. I knew that all along. All the reporters weren't. That's why I was able to drop stuff. Nobody knew how I was getting it. Because I could drop things being independent that the others can't. Jared Carabas, I don't want to live in a world where Freddie Freeman is playing Atlanta Braves. Yeah. Andres Shapiro, 117-mile-per-hour max exit velocity last year, would be 11th highest in the majors. He's a prospect everyone should be watching 2022. That's Yankees prospect, by the way. And by the way, with Correa, the Yankees were 100% out on him last night. Something changed this morning. That changed it and got the Yankees reinterested in him. I'm not sure what it was. I refuse to believe I'm going to have to live in a world where Freddie Freeman is an Atlanta Brave. Please pay the man. That's Ben Verlander. That's Justin Verlander's brother. There's a lot of people that are kind of wigging out right now. Jared Carabas still goes to the Rangers title win just because they didn't get Kershaw. Yusei Kikuchi is reportedly going to be the next starter to sign. I would believe that. The Yankees are the only AL team known to have grabbed medicals on him. Keep an eye on that. Several teams interested. And of course, Mariners did not need medicals on him. They already had him. Some videotape of Correa was leaked, is why the Cubs said no, is what I'm told. If that's the case, don't expect him on the Yankees. They wouldn't take somebody with that kind of an issue either. I've not confirmed that completely yet. Rays McClanahan with new number. It was Joey Wendell's old number. Since he was traded, McClanahan took his number. I was expecting somebody to take that one. And Bryce Harper is trying to push the Phillies to bring in his buddy, Chris Bryant, who broke that one months ago. And the Mariners scheduled that press to go to MLB Network, and it never happened. So figure that one out. Rob Pearsall, I have a really good feeling about Cookie Carrasco, Carlos Carrasco. This year, definitely someone I think fans forgot about. But I think if healthy, is going to be a real factor at rotation. I don't think he'll be healthy. 5 straight years injury, so. Per source, Yankees are starting to dangle Peraza for Olsen a lot more. They're willing to trade him. That tells me Story or Correa is getting close. And that's kind of odd timed, right as the Dodgers are about to sign Freeman. That drops. That's a little bit of odd timing, if you ask me. And if the Yankees get Correa, Story will go to the Phillies. If the Yankees sign Story, I think it's Correa to the Phillies or Astros, maybe. So the Phillies and Astros are both kind of watching here. And the Astros can't get Simmons either. Somebody says Yankees Twitter is nuts. Source says, not sure it's actually for Olsen. Several names I could probably come off the top of my head, but yeah. Sources believe Rizzo to the Yankees is kind of a lock. As if the Braves are going all out to get Atlanta native Matt Olson. How bizarre is it that Olson just happens to be Atlanta native, right? As the Braves need a new first baseman. That one's a little bit fishy to me. So I'm going to go till 8 p.m. my time, 10 p.m. Eastern. Then I'll kind of reassess on the live. I think somebody's sending a bunch of trolls at me trying to get me to read my sources. No reporter does that, so. And with Rizzo seeming like a lock to happen, that makes it seem like Peraza and Torres are being packaged for pitching. So, and it would be a good pitcher if they're going to do that. It might just be Torres and Peraza for Sean Manaea. Then they sign Rizzo and Story type thing. See here. Somebody said Braves should announce Cole Hamlet signing and then be like, just kidding, it's Freddie Freeman. That would be a massive CBA violation. MLB would come down on them like none other. Woke Disney is licking its wounds. They picked the wrong governor to mess with. That's about Florida and Disney World. Did not know that. So I'm just checking here with sources. That's what I've been doing last hour. I've been on the live. So we're going to go till 8 p.m. my time, 10 p.m. Eastern. I will reassess if you want to stay live any longer. Remember to do the channel, like, and subscribe to everything. We could get a major surprise on a trade. No, Cashman is known to do that. I would not be the least bit surprised if we get a surprise trade involving Peraza, Torres, Voit. Voit is going to be traded. That one I know for a fact. I think Freeman deal is going down. All sources just went dead silent. Cut off all communications. When that happens, a big move happens. Stay alert, guys. Stay alert. Thanks, Fleming. I actually had an MLB player tell me he loves my content far more than anything on MLB News. He said there's some with John Boy he likes better, but he likes mine more than most what John Boy does. So there's a little inside information there. I do have headphones, want to use them. I have a couple sets of headphones, including this one. It's a Bluetooth headphone. That one right now is just plugged in charging. I do have another one that's made for this kind of thing. I don't like to wear it, though, because of the concussion issue. If the Yankees do sign Story and Rizzo, I would expect another one. So, Ben Verlander under investigation for tampering. There's some breaking news. Just Verlander's brother under investigation for tampering. What was that? Oh. And Brent Verlander, because he's Justin Verlander's brother, could get big sanctions or even arrested for that. If the MLB presses criminal charges for it. The Yankees lost to the Houston because the Yankees bats were pool noodles, also because of their sign stealing. But I kind of agree with that. Yankees needed a little better hitting in that series. And now to leave on Twitter, there'll just be a Twitter break there about Ben Verlander. See here. SNY says the Dodgers and Braves are the landing spots for Freeman. There's more confirmation Yankees are out from SNY. I think the Yankees I really think Yankees would end up with Story and excuse me, Rizzo. Doyer's Dave, blogger for the Dodgers, thinks they got Freeman. I think the Freeman is going down, and we might see Correa shortly after. So, my niece, my 12-year-old niece, gets bored of them on my news. She's watched these shows, giving me her opinion on it. She wants to do this kind of thing. So you might see my niece show up on this, but she's bored of them on my news and others. She likes some of John Boy stuff, so. And another thing, I'm not going to tweet it, but you will hear here, if Ben Verlander is busting everything, it could void out just a Verlander contract and force him to leave the Astros. Because the tampering is about that, so this could be a big situation. You could even get Justin Verlander banned from the game if he knew about it and such. So, my brother is complaining that Freeman is leaving his Braves. He's a big time Braves fan. Tough it, dude. You weren't. The Braves weren't man enough to pay up. You know, I'm a little shocked more people aren't connecting Sean Manaea to the Yankees. The Yankees have liked him for years and been after him for years. Just saying. But something big is going down. All sources have gone silent. All of my sources have just gone silent when asked. Flat out told me, please don't talk, we'll see. He'll get back to me, so. Ben Verlander says he cannot confirm. That's why I tagged him. Oh, if I could spell right. So I'll just tell him, thanks for clarifying. He might not know about the investigation yet. I will say that one. He may not know yet. Usually this person being investigated will not be notified until they're well into that investigation and about ready to get him. Mike Petrillo, just thinking about how in the course of the year, the Cubs at shortstop went from a guy who strikes out more than just about anybody when alive to a guy who strikes out less than almost anyone. They got way worse in the process. The sports rule sometime. What he's talking about, Javi Baez, and it is Baez, there's no I in that name. Baez, and it sounds like an I is why they get that. He's a pretty good guy. I don't think he ever really a shortstop. I think he's a second baseman. But now they have Andrelton Simmons, who's probably going to hit 300, but with no power at all. He might get you 5 home runs. So, and again, with the Verlander news, it's likely the Verlanders do not even get notified until MLB is well into the investigation and then comes down on them. That happened with the several other players in tampering last few times tampering was brought up. So, my lineup prediction for the Yankees, he tweeted to me and said he could not confirm. He tweeted at me, so I said, thanks for clarifying, left it at that. I'll move on. Lineup for the Yankees, I think DJ at second base leads off. Aaron Judge bats second right field. Anthony Rizzo bats third at first base. Fourth, I'm going to go with Giancarlo Stanton, the DH. Fifth, I think Trevor Story, the shortstop. Sixth, I'll go left fielder Joey Gallo. Seventh, catcher Gary Sanchez. Eighth, third baseman Gio Urshela. And ninth to be the center fielder Aaron Hicks. Kind of gets a balance in there. And now if they get another player like Conforto or whoever they're after, well, it changes it. It changes it. So Correa, it's going to be Phillies or Astros to me. That's just the feel I get. Correa will be with the Phillies or Astros. Jazz lead the Spurs 59-50 at halftime. Mitchell's 18, so there you go. And Ben Verlander, by the way, per MLB rules, cannot confirm an active investigation into himself. Keeping that in mind. I can't even think of the word now. Prohibit. I'll say ban that. But if you're being active investigated for this thing, you cannot confirm it. You have to stay out of it. So, Seiya Suzuki hanging out with you, Darvish. And you, Darvish, just shared that tweet. Brand new tweet. Keep an eye on that. Are the Padres getting Suzuki? He projects extremely well with them due to that left field porch they have. He projects extremely well to them. So I'll just tweet that laws and rules in sports league. And if you're going to say that, you're blocked. So it's likely Suzuki may be nearing a deal with the Padres. Played with Yu Darvish. He played with Yu Darvish back in Japan. Remember that? Where Yu Darvish came over here. Yeah, we already knew about the Yosei Kikuchi news that the Yankees, Twins, White Sox are all after him. Yankees have the advantage there because they have the player that the A's want. And prohibits what I was trying to come up with here, so... see here. Oh, what just happened? Get me back there. It's going silent. I'm not getting anything new from any source. Something's going down. It might be the Freeman deal. Yeah, we know about the Mets trade talks with the Reds. People actually don't think that Freeman's agents would tell the Yankees they're out. Yeah, they would. That's how it works. They tell teams they're out and they're not going to go there. So another source tell me he'll get back with me in a minute. He's working on something. I usually get that when a big move is going down. Last time I got that was right before that big trade last offseason. I'll let you figure out which trade that was. Yeah, Yu Darvish shared a picture of him with Yosei Kikuchi. If Kikuchi does not have a deal done with the Padres, that is tampering. This would be the third time we would have seen tampering today if Kikuchi or Suzuki does not have a deal done. Suzuki's team with Yu Darvish. See here. If Hector Gomez is telling the truth, there's no one the Yankees lose Correa to. They only go about $300 million. He's a Yankee. That is very true. That is very true. And who else of the contenders would sign him? The Yankees about the only contender that need a shortstop. So keep that in mind. That was just a point made by a fan. I would be surprised if Suzuki isn't signing with the Padres after that picture, because that would be tampering otherwise. Hicks is that hard to trade. They'd have to attach a high-end prospect to trade Hicks. Not a lot of teams are actually interested in Hicks. There are some that are, but Hicks would be very hard to trade. They're not just going to bench him. He'd be very hard to trade. And keep an eye on Estevan Florial and Ender Inciarte, two incredible defensive center fielders. So... nothing new there. Brad Rowland, just in case, it is my duty to point out the Braves could have and should have paid Freddie Freeman a year ago and letting him get into his walk here without a deal open the door for potential shenanigans. Yeah. I'll definitely agree with that one, and he continues, if it's there. I don't see anything continued there. But yeah, he's got a point there. I definitely agree with him on that one. What is this? Let me check on this real quick. Prime Sports. There's somebody I'm friends with. I talk with in that. Oh, he's confirming it is Suzuki with Darvish. And Prime Sports broke the cold news if you didn't know that. Tells you how good some of my sources are. I knew Cole signed with the Yankees 24 hours before he did. Over 24 hours, actually. Might be closer to 30 hours. Kind of idiot telling me he thinks the Yankees going to blow Freeman away at any time. No, they're not. They're done. They're out of the talks for him. It's Dodgers or Braves. I think Rizzo ends up with the Yankees and they sign a shortstop. I believe it's Story, but it could be Correa. A lot of people get mad at the Yankees, but the guys they're after outside of Rizzo. By the way, the Yankees offered to Rizzo will be about 3 years, $45 million. The third year being an option year. And I could actually think he's trying to trade for another center fielder as well. I won't leave that one out, but I do think they stand pat with Hicks at this point. Kind of weird. Sources went quiet about 20 minutes ago. Nothing coming out. So I'll stick with it till 8. If there's still nothing coming out with the sources, I might end this, and you'll just have to watch my Twitter. See here. Now the grind never stops in this business.
DC leading George Mason by 2. Moments ago, Layla Rahimi with George Mason head coach Kim English.
Wow, what did he tell her? Guy tells his wife something and she barks at him. I don't know what he told her. Evan Altman, he is a reporter. But he's not a big reporter, but he retweeted what Heyman said about Suzuki. And notice the Padres are not mentioned by John Heyman. The Padres were not mentioned by John Heyman. How fishy is that going to be if he does sign with the Padres as we believe? I knew the Padres were interested in him. I just saw something else I want to look at. No, Story is not even going to approach Simeon's deal. Prime Sports, relax, Adam. About my comment, but yes, it is tampering. So, Leo Collins drawing lots of interest. Like supposed to say the Jags, Broncos, Bengals, Dolphins inquired about trading for the town 28-year-old. Dominant run blocking and a pretty reliable pass blocker. But yes, it is tampering if you dare to talk to a free agent. What is this? We need a dance on live stream TikTok trend. Yeah, we'll see about that. I don't think I can do a dance on this one. The camera is not set up for it. Let's see what this is.
Out of respect for the Intercontinental Championship, I was going to try to remain professional, but what are you doing out here? Why are you here?
If you're going to main event WrestleMania with me, get out of here. Get this guy out of here. Pat, come on. No, not this way, Pat. Come on, get some security out here, Pat. Don't let him get to you. Pat, come on. God, somebody get out here. Do something! Hey, come on!
I could get donations. I just don't know if I want to dance with this camera because you can't really see it. I'm also low on energy right now. I'm dealing with a few minor injuries, including I've got a UCL injury in this arm now. Redsman asked me about Red's move. I just don't know. People ask if I have autism. I am on the autism spectrum. I'm not very high on it. So... And if you're wondering why Ben Verlander would say he cannot confirm, he can't confirm it, or else he gets even worse trouble. So... Checked another source and he says, can't say anything right now, so... I am told that there may be some high-end MLB teams, exec types watching me right now. That'd be cool. The source is just dead silent. You Darvish just tweeted something else. It wasn't decided to be Padres at all. They just said hello because the agents are the same. That still could be tampering, but yeah, we'll see. They are countrymen. They were friends. They were on the same Japanese team, and I think for at least one season at the same time. Would have been about 8-9 years ago. We'll see. Who knows on that one, so... You know what? I'm going to delete that one. Just going to get rid of that tweet. There we go. We'll be live for another 10 minutes. Reassess at that point. If it's still dead silent, it is right now. I don't know. Man. Anything on Kevin K to the Cubs? Again, at least 8 teams asked about him. Nothing solid to talks there. I think the Cubs are the one likely to try to push him and get a deal done. That's about as far as I would go. Lakers have no chance anytime soon. If they get rid of Westbrook being a good point guard, okay, maybe they'd be champion contenders. But I think LeBron James got to the age where till they get he's gone or they add a few more stars or something, they're not really going to compete. What just happened there? Let's check this. MLB, there's going to be a free agent frenzy as soon as the lockout ends. Free agency, crickets. It has been so much slower than anybody was saying. It's not even funny. If it stays this way, it could get unbelievably crazy on Sunday as teams are reporting. Because players are getting impatient. They want to be able to be at spring training Saturday or Sunday. The players are getting impatient. What does Eric Cressy say? Oh, it's Athletic Greens sponsorship he's announcing. And podcast Eric Cressy. Man, it's just dead silent. All sources, nothing is coming out. from anyone. Oh, what's the Jazz score? Check out some NBA scores here real quick. Kansas beat TCU 75-62. BYU could be messing with them next year. Jazz are up 10 in the third quarter, I believe it is. Got to refresh my screen, get it to catch up on the scores. Atlanta was up by 2 on the Clippers at last count. Jazz are up by 11. Okay, it's 92-90 Atlanta over the Clippers. Miami's up 80-67 on Cleveland. The Rockets getting pummeled 71-47. There's nothing impressive about that. Memphis down 79-83 to the Knicks. I don't know how the Knicks are winning that. Charlotte up 64-57 on New Orleans. Let's see. Late in the second, it is 47-42 Toronto over Phoenix. Orlando already beat Minnesota 118-110. So that's a run down there. It is 113-97 Boston over the Pistons, so they kind of pulled away on that one. Oh, what is this? That's about Trae Young. So boring, some baseball reporters talking about basketball. They've been dead silent about 20 minutes ago. My goodness. Mike Scudiero. Pretty fun one to interact with. He is a radio program director with the Yankees. He does know stuff. Not a lot. He's on SoundCloud, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, a lot of New York teams. But he said, I believe if the Yankees don't get at least one to create a story, Freeman or Olsen. I'm okay with the Rizzo, but I'd obviously rather Olsen or Freddie. A lot of people are that way, just saying. I don't know what that was. Then I had a message and I don't. I guess I'll go check the other one. That was a while ago. Okay, and my computer just froze. I don't know if you can see anything right now. My computer just froze on me. Okay, there it goes. According to MLB Nerds, they think the Braves and Cubs are involved in Correa. They are not. Correa is not considering the Braves or Cubs at this point. The Cubs are out on Correa themselves. Oh, what was that? Okay, it's nothing. So, about 5 minutes from 8 o'clock, and it's gone dead silent. Nothing coming out from any source. A little weird. A little weird. Any sources. Every source has gone silent, no matter where they are. All the MLB sources just gone silent. It is dead silent. Kevin Carmichael has been about 4 or 5 hours. The Cubs are known to be talking on things, especially with Suzuki. We'll see. No one getting signed in tonight. I think so. We'll get at least one more signing tonight. Who it will be big. I don't know, but I'm very sure we'll get at least one more signing tonight. Notice nothing from any reporter in about a half hour, 45 minutes. Dallas Britt. He's a media relations guy. Says, I just don't like the idea of Atlanta Braves out Freddie Freeman. Get used to it. I think it's coming. I believe that is coming. Oh. Yeah, the Blue Jays added Vasquez to their bullpen. Andrew Vasquez. We did not hear of that one. Hecka suspicious that all sources have gone dead silent. I should have 3 or 4 sources that text me all the time, telling me what's coming. Not getting anything from them. I usually bounce what they say off other sources. Braves fans will actually know AA is a ninja. Something tells the Braves not end up with Matt Olson. Something tells me that either Matt Olson does not get traded or ends up with the Yankees. I think Yankees get Rizzo and the Matt Olson doesn't get traded. Who knows with the Braves? They have the prospect capital to get Matt Olson, but the issue with that is it would mortgage their future. It would basically get rid of everything at the top of their farm. There's nothing coming about baseball at all right now. The Chicago Cubs are trending for some reason. Okay, it's about Simmons and Suzuki, what I can see. It's got something here. Let's check this out. From the source, he says, source is not getting anything. Never gets this quiet unless a big deal is about to go down. So that was from a source there. So I would guess Freeman. If one's about to go down, I would guess Freeman, and then it would start picking back up again for the rest of the evening. Let's see what this is. Oh, what is this? I was going to say Facebook. Facebook has added some things I cannot stand. Yeah, the Louisville, Michigan game, raging blizzard, ridiculous. The Yankees are not going to sit on their fingers. They are going to add a couple of bats. I believe Rizzo's story myself. Get more people saying Yankees aren't going to do anything. It's ridiculous. Remember, the Yankees have $114 million coming off the books next year, and they're well below the luxury tax right now. They could sign Story and Rizzo still be below the luxury tax. Sesame Street actor Emilio Delgado dead at 81. Played the Weiss for 40 years. So another celeb death. It's older than my uncle got. My uncle died at 69. So my grandpa died at 79. So RB, I don't like RB at all. He throws out a bunch of lies. He'll get something not true at all and just throw it out there. But he said, what would Yankee fans think if they signed Rizzo meant they got Correa? Legit question. I'd be okay with that. I don't want Correa in the Yankees. I don't think he would fit the Yankees. I don't think they will end up signing him, but yeah. What is this? Oh, yeah, Alec Baldwin is trying to cheat the law. He said he's not accountable for killing a person. Anybody that says that, you know, is a guilty murderer. Okay, have fun, Travis. I'm probably going to get off. It's just too silent to try to stay up here. If I had any inclination the deal was coming, I would probably stay on a few more minutes. Even SNY is now talking about the next basketball game. So I guess for now we'll call this one a good stream. Remember, like and subscribe. Help the channel. Help everybody out. Been a fun one. I will be live tomorrow with the Above Average Baseball Show. And we will talk everything of move breaks during that. I'll break it. So have a great day, everybody. Come on.